All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Hello, hello, hello. Wow, what an interesting turn of events. I wasn't going to talk about it because I wasn't sure if they were actually going to come up with the verdict for the trial for Jussie Smollett, whatever his name is. But in fact, they have come to a conclusion. Guilty. He has been found guilty on 5 of 6 counts of creating a hate crime and wasting Chicago PD's resources and all of these things. So we're going to talk about it because this is absolutely crazy. And to be honest, kind of a surprise. I was not expecting guilty verdict. I mean, I just wasn't. We have the media, we have politicians, all that have spoken for Jussie's defense over the past couple years with this fake hate crime, which has now been proven it was a hoax. Yeah, I was expecting them to just give him a not guilty charge or not charge him at all because of just the environment that we're in, because, you know, he's a black gay man and talks about it openly, like that's the reason he was attacked, even though now we have it proven that he in fact made it all up. And it's crazy. So I'm actually seeing now he's guilty on all charges. So there's a lot of different at first I saw guilty 5 out of 6 counts. Different people are saying different things, so I'm not sure if it's actually 6 counts or 5 out of the 6 counts. But this just happened right now, so I actually was just pulling stuff up right before. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I feel like it needs to, especially because it ties in perfectly with the subjects that I'm going to be talking about today. Media bias. Now, there's an article that has come out that has straight up said that the media is being unfairly biased against Joe Biden. I kid you not. They're saying the media is biased against Biden, trying to manipulate him and make it seem that he is worse than he is. And that it's on par or worse than how Trump was treated in the media. And it is, I mean, it is laughable. I couldn't believe it. It's insane. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how young Democratic voters they don't even want to date someone of the other side. They don't want to support businesses of the other side. There's an article that came out from Axios that did a poll among college students, and it's kind of crazy to see how much these people have been brainwashed to hate the other side. And this whole episode is going to be about media bias, because then we're going to be talking about, I don't know if you know, the Fox, I think it's the Fox television Christmas tree was burnt down a couple days ago. And of course, the way the media is spinning it, the guy got out with no bail at all, just was released right away. And it kind of is crazy to see how they're talking about it. And I'm also going to be talking about what happened in Wisconsin with the SUV that ended up killing 6 people and injuring 60 plus people. Absolutely horrifying. It is terrorism, and they are not labeling it as such. Why? Because of media bias. And it all kind of, this whole episode, we're going to be talking about it, media bias. You know, I do have an article about how Apple was paid by the Chinese government. Was it billions of dollars? Hold on, let me just double check. Billions of dollars, over $275 billion to help the Chinese government. Now, this is kind of crazy, and I think I might talk about this tomorrow because I'm going to go into this Jussie Smollett stuff. I wasn't planning on it, but I think I'm going to, it's obviously priority because it's breaking news right now. But I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because that's absolutely insane. But before we get into anything, I want to just play a video for you guys because it sums it up perfectly. This is from Jordan Peterson. He was on Joe Rogan's show a while back, and he explains something that is very fitting. And here it is. I'm going to play it for you.
I just don't understand how it gets to the point where
things get to terrible places one tiny step at a time. You know, if I encroach on you and I'm sophisticated about it, I'm going to encroach 2 millimeters. I'm going to encroach right to the point where you start to protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. Then you're going to calm down. Then I'm going to encroach again right to the point where you protest. Then I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to wait. And I'm just going to do that forever. And before you know it, you're going to be back 3 miles from where you started, and you'll have done it one step at a time. And then you'll go, oh, how'd I get here? And the answer was, well, I pushed you a little farther than you should have gone, and you agreed. And so then I pushed you a little farther than you should have gone again, and you agreed. And if anybody's interested in this sort of process, and this is a horrifying book, if you want to read about how this process works, you can read a book called Ordinary Men by Robert Browning.
No, just let that finish. I mean, he explains it, and this is what's happening. They are slowly encroaching on everything, on our rights, on every little bit, and to the point where we're about to protest, until we're about to fight back, and then they stop. And then they wait until we're complacent again. And then they push, and they push again, and they push a little harder. And then all of a sudden, we're so far from where we started with our rights as human beings. And we're wondering, how did we lose all of our rights? How did we get here? It's because media manipulation. It's because them encroaching on our rights, slowly taking those rights away from us until suddenly we have no rights. I don't want to live in a world where I am not free. I don't want to live in a world where you are not free. And none of us should want to live in that kind of a world. Someone said frog in a boiling water. Exactly. Yep. Slowly boiling us to the point where we're cooked. Well, we need to recognize this. We need to understand that all of these different forces are working to take away our rights, to manipulate us. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is the media bias. But first, let's get into the Jussie Smollett trial. So as of right now, we now found out that he is guilty on, well, I'm seeing, let me actually just double check, because I keep seeing different reports that he was guilty on 5 of 6 counts. But then I also see counts of him being found on all charges. But I think the official story is 5 of 6 counts. And I just want to show you this hilarious tweet from Ben Shapiro. Tonight, Jussie Smollett can rest knowing that his attacker has been convicted. It's funny, but it's also really sad, because he, in fact, did it himself. It has been proven that he did it himself. Here's an article that I found that sums everything up really well. It's from the New York Post. Jussie Smollett, guilty of staging race-baiting hate attack to boost his career. He was convicted Thursday, just minutes ago. I think like 20 minutes ago they read it, of staging a hate crime nearly 3 years after he claimed 2 Trump-loving bigots beat him up, tied a noose around his neck, and doused him in bleach in a misbegotten bid to raise his public profile. It took nearly an hour for the actor to return to Chicago courthouse to hear the jury's guilty verdict. For Smollett, the verdict is the final chapter in the made-for-TV saga that jurors found Smollett not just starred in, but directed from start to finish, when he asked 2 men to fake beat him up, gave them a script of homophobic and racist slurs to deliver, and selected a stage for the phony beatdown that he thought was in direct view of surveillance cameras. Juries heard 6 days of testimony from 13 witnesses and deliberated for less than 10 hours. In the absence of smoking gun evidence, the trial in Chicago criminal court came down to whose story was more believable, Smollett's or Abimbola and Alabinjo Asundare Dairos. I totally botched those names up. I apologize. The defense vehemently maintained Smollett was the victim of a real hate crime and called the brothers sophisticated liars and criminals, who later offered to recant their story and tell the truth in exchange for $2 million. He's dumb enough, this is a quote, he's dumb enough to go into Obama's city and pretend there's Trump supporters running around with MAGA hats. Give me a break, defense attorney Nenye Uche told jurors in his closing arguments. And here is the scene of the crime. Crime, of course, because it is an actual host. The brothers were like wolves disguised as sheep in a henhouse. Prosecutors, however, said Smollett exploited tense race relations for his own gain and paid the Usundaros $3,500 to stage the attack so he can get attention. It's clearly a violation of the law to go to the police and report to police a fake crime and tell police it's a real crime, said prosecutor Dan Webb. Well, that's obvious. To outright denigrate something as serious, as heinous as a real hate crime, to denigrate it and then make sure it involved words and symbols that have such horrible historical significance in our country was just plain wrong to do, and he did. The two brothers, who'd known the former Empire actor for about a year and a half prior to the hoax, both delivered hours-long testimonies as the prosecution's star witnesses. Abimbola, 28, told jurors that he and Smollett met at a club in the fall of 2017 and soon became close. He considered the actor to be a brother. So when Smollett texted him on January 25th, 2019, asking him for some help on the low, he agreed to meet up with the actor, who brought a piece of hate mail he received that showed a stick figure hanging and the words, "You will die black," F word. I'm not going to repeat it. He talked about how the studio was not taking the mail seriously, the hate mail he received earlier. Abimbola testified, "I was confused. I looked puzzled, and he explained that he wanted me to fake beat him up." Abimbola, who is now an amateur boxer, said Smollett told him specific lines he wanted the brothers to deliver. Empire, F-word, N-word, MAGA, then gave a blow-by-blow instructions. He wanted me to punch him, but he wanted me to pull the punch so it didn't hurt him, and then he wanted me to tussle him and throw him to the ground and give him a bruise, he testified. Then he wanted it to look like he was fighting back. So I was supposed to give him a chance to fight back, then eventually throw him to the ground, and my brother would tie the noose around his neck and pour bleach on him. During a dry run 2 days earlier, Abimbola testified Smollett showed the brothers a location for the fake attack that was in direct view of surveillance cameras because he wanted to use the camera footage for media. The brothers admitted they found the request bizarre and agreed to partake because Smollett was famous and could help them with their own budding acting careers down the line. I mentioned to Ula that I did feel indebted to Jesse, and he's helped me out, and he could actually further our acting career, and Ula agreed. From the onset, the defense's case largely centered on attacking the Usundaros' credibility and establishing reasonable doubt by presenting a series of witnesses that chipped away at the brothers' story. Here is the brothers here. Of course, they are clearly not white supremacists. Doesn't make any sense. Smollett's former publicist, Pamela Sharp, testified the actors loathed media attention, and Anthony Moore, a security guard patrolling near the scene of the phony attack, told jurors he's adamant he saw a white man running from the area and prosecutors pressured him to change his story. But following a 3-day break from the trial and bombshell testimony from both Usundaros, Smollett unexpectedly took the stand Monday and testified that everything the brothers said was a bold-faced lie. There was no hoax, he told the jurors. What happened to me happened. I mean, technically that's not a lie, because what happened to him did happen. But of course, he directed it and made it happen himself. He explained that on the night he met Abimbola, the two did cocaine together and later made out and touched each other inside a private room at Steamworks, a gay bathhouse in Chicago's Boys Town's neighborhood. So they were together. Okay. The actor testified the two later masturbated together in the same bathhouse, and Abimbola frequently purchased cocaine and marijuana from him and spoke about being his security guard. Security was mentioned a lot. It just came in passing like, "Yo, man, you should let me be your security," Smollett told jurors. It became a running joke that he would act like we were Secret Service when we were together. The defense pointed out that the security guards for Smollett could reap as much as $5,000 per month, but the only thing the actor wanted to hire Abimbola for was fitness related. Sorry. Fitness related. In the bathhouse. I'm sorry. He testified that $3,500 he paid Abimbola for was personal training services and a meal plan when he needed to lose weight ahead of a music video shoot. When he texted him asking for his help on the low, it was about herbal steroids that are illegal in the U.S., nothing more. All sorts of just illegal things. They talk about, yeah, he bought cocaine for me. Like he did, I wanted illegal stuff. Like, dude, you're not helping your case. He's talking about all these illegal things that he was doing with these guys. Anyway, over and over again, the former Mighty Ducks actor denied instructing the brothers to stage a hate crime while under cross-examination Tuesday. Drew Testy. Phrasing, guys. Phrasing. And combative when Special Prosecutor Dan Webb grilled him about the inconsistencies in his story. When Smollett originally spoke to cops, he said one of the attackers was white, an assumption he made primarily based on the vitriolic statements that were said, but later told cops the assailant was pale-skinned because it was the responsible thing to do. Okay, let me just go back real quick and just show you the brothers. Which one of them was white? Or pale-skinned? Sorry, Smollett, the hole you've dug yourself is just ridiculous. Prosecutors said the hoax was originally scheduled for the evening of January 28th, 2019, but was pushed back to 2 a.m. on January 29th, when a flight Smollett was taking to New York back to Chicago was delayed for several hours. In the lead up to the ruse, Smollett acquiesced that he'd sent 4 messages to Abimbola, giving him status updates on the delayed flight, but claimed it was because he and the traitor had plans to work out that night, while prosecutors said the texts were proof that they were coordinating with each other. Obviously. Yeah, we're going to work out at 2 a.m., sure. The hate crime Smollett claimed he suffered sparked international outrage, then disgust, while police said he made the whole thing up. Oh! You know what? I have a few of these. Thank you to Kyle Becker. He put them all together. This one's from Eric Swalwell. What happened to Jussie Smollett is vile and tragic. Thankfully, he will recover. But hate crimes like this are happening more frequently, egged on by careless, hate-filled rhetoric. We start reducing these crimes by rejecting the speech. Neither can be accepted as normal. Oh, there's more. Here's Bernie Sanders. Of course, CNN reports Empire actor Jussie Smollett was attacked early Tuesday morning in what Chicago police are calling a possible hate crime. Smollett was attacked by 2 people yelling out racial homophobic slurs. The racist and homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is a horrific instance of the surging hostility towards minorities around the country. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. Here's Nancy Pelosi. The racist, homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is an affront on our humanity. No one should be attacked for who they are or whom they love. I pray that Jussie has a speedy recovery, that justice is served. You know what? Nancy Pelosi, you'll be happy to know justice has been served today. Justice has been served. His attacker has been rightfully sentenced. Well, actually, I don't know if sentencing is done. Let me actually just double check, because I'm sure everyone's going to be talking about if the sentencing has gone through. I know I'm not seeing anything yet, but I think he deserves prison, man. I think he should go to jail for it, because it is absolutely insanity. And yeah, it seems like it is 5 out of 6 counts. All right, but anyway, you should be happy, Pelosi, because, justice has been served. Maybe all commit to ending this hate once and for all. And then, of course, the Vice President of the United States, of course, she wasn't at the time. Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I pray for his quick recovery. This was an attempted modern-day lynching. No one should have to fear for their life because of the sexuality or the color of their skin. We must confront this hate. Look, I agree with all of them. We shouldn't have to deal with this kind of hate. But when we live in a world where they are at the point they have to make up this hate, shut up. They all just need to shut up. My goodness. They are making it up. They have to make up racism. They have to make up these hate crimes. Look, there's people out there that are bigots. Of course there is. All right. But the average person? No, that's just not the case. They have to make this BS up. And in fact, we have now been found out today that he made it all up. 5 out of 6 counts. Now, will he see jail time? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that he's going to see jail? I'm looking at chat right now. What do you guys think? Is he going to see jail time for this? Now, there's people on Twitter that are saying, you know what? He should go to jail for as if he was doing the hate crime against himself. Because, in fact, he did. He is the one who perpetrated this hate crime against himself. So should he get treated as though he is the one who did the hate crime? Maybe. He faces up to 3 years in prison, by the way. Everyone's saying no. No. He's probably not going to see. Faking a hate crime is a hate crime. I agree. It is a hate crime. It is trying to perpetuate that America is racist. It is not. America is definitely not racist. It's one of the best countries in the world. I mean that wholeheartedly. America is amazing. This dude, he was in Mighty Ducks. The dude's been in movies and stuff his whole life, and yet had to create some sort of fake hate crime to try to push this narrative that America's racist. It's not. I'm sorry. No, you're wrong. If you think America's racist, you have no idea what racism is then. Period. These people have to make stuff up. That Tiki Torch BS over in Georgia. The Patriot Front. Yeah, okay, sure. Bunch of feds walking down Lincoln Memorial. Yeah, all these people, they keep making stuff up. It seems like a lot of people are saying he's not going to get jail, and I don't think he's going to get jail. I think he deserves it. Definitely. Let me just finish reading this here. The actor was originally charged with staging a hate crime in February of 2019. But in a stunning reversal, Chicago prosecutors dropped all charges against him after he agreed to forfeit a $10,000 bond and showed proof that he'd completed 2 days of community service. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So they actually, back in 2019, already thought that he was staging this stuff. In the backdrop of Smollett's failed performance as a hate crime victim, scandal soon engulfed Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx, who was widely criticized for the move and was later found to have made a series of unethical blunders in her handling of the case. Wow. A former state appellate judge, Sheila O'Brien, managed to convince a judge that a special prosecutor was needed to investigate the office's handling of the case, and in a scathing ruling that summer, Judge Michael Tooman agreed and declared Fox's case was void from start to finish. This dude was being protected. I mean, at the time of when this went down, they were trying to push, Kamala Harris was trying to push legislation about hate crimes and all this BS, which we're finding out, like, people were on his side trying to get this dismissed. Okay. Oh, no, don't worry. It was not it wasn't staged in a hate crime. You need to drop this. Well, it turns out that was all BS, as we've now proven today. It absolutely was a hoax. And the media was protecting him. The politicians were protecting him. So what are they going to do today? What are they going to do today? Are we going to see a bunch of people going, hey, we were wrong. Actually, Smollett did lie. He isn't a good person because he was faking this hoax? I'm just looking at to see. I want to just double check to see if he is getting any of the what's going to happen to him. So we know the verdict, but what will happen? I know he faces 3 years in jail. No one's talking about it yet, and I have a feeling that once that happens, it will it'll be trending very, very heavily. So I don't see anything that as far as what his sentencing will be. So, all right, let's move on though. Let's move on. That is, I'll be paying attention to that, and maybe we'll see. You know what? I just saw this, and this is a really good point. Let me pull this up for you guys. This is from Melissa Tate. She makes a really good point. Jussie Smollett didn't act alone. He was working in coordination with high-level Democrats. Their Marxist agenda to divide and conquer America. She's right. She's absolutely right. They are trying to divide us. They're trying to prove that hate exists here, that people are so angry at a black and gay man for being black and gay, even though he made it all up himself. And the Democrats were behind it. They were like, yeah, see? I read those tweets from you guys. Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Eric Swalwell. They all were acting this virtuous, like, oh, we must stop this hate speech. None of this speech should be allowed. All speech should be allowed. Yes, even hate speech. All speech should be allowed. And guess what? If you see hate speech, it should be condemned. It should be called out. It should be ridiculed. It should be publicly shamed. But it should be allowed. All speech should be allowed. You gotta allow it all. I'm sorry. Free speech is free speech. Let these bigots be bigots. And who cares about them? Because the majority of people are not bigots. Period. That's it. The majority of people are not racist. The majority of Americans want people to prosper. I believe that. And you can't convince me otherwise. When we're living in a time where they have to make up microaggressions. They're upset about microaggressions. They have to make up major aggressions. Look, if someone actually put a noose around his neck and poured bleach on him and believed it and felt the hate behind that, that'd be terrible, of course. But show me an example of that. Show me. I don't see it. Because if it did exist, it would be front and center on the news. They would be shoving it down our throats 24/7. Doesn't fit their narrative. Well, this fit their narrative, and guess what? They shoved it down our throats 24/7 when it happened. They needed everyone to know, look, it exists. Wow, this black and gay man got attacked. Well, it turns out he made it all up. All right. This media bias, though, all right, this is what they do, all right? They're pushing the narrative. They're manipulating people's minds. I have an example of it. This is from Axios. College students who would not go on a date with someone who voted for the opposite opposing presidential candidate. 71% of Democrats wouldn't date someone on the opposing side. 71%, that's insane. Whereas 31% of Republicans would not date someone who voted for the opposing presidential candidate. That's a huge difference. That's crazy. This one really is sad to me. College students who would not shop at or support a business of someone who voted for the opposing presidential candidate. 41%. Nearly half of young college Democrats wouldn't support a business if they voted for the other side, whereas only 7% of Republicans. Who is the inclusive ones? Who are the people that are, that don't care, that are inclusive? It's the Republicans. It's the people on the right. They're like, yeah, well, whatever. Only 7%. That means 93% of young Republicans don't care what your political views are. They'll still support you. That's inclusivity, okay? This is proving who really is the bigots out there. It's the young Democrats or the media, right? I mean, because this is all manipulation. These people didn't just get here naturally. They got here by being manipulated, indoctrinated in their schools, by the media, by politicians who just use any fake hoax, which we've seen. Yeah, Kamala Harris coming out. Oh, it's a modern day lynching. No, it's not. It was not. It was fake. just like Bubba. They call him Bubba Smollett because he saw the pulley that was just a ring on the end of a rope to pull the garage door shut. He saw it and cried because he thought it was some sort of hate crime, which it wasn't. Look at this. 37% can't even be friends with someone opposing, who voted for the opposing presidential candidate. You know, when I came and made a post on Facebook last year, it was in the middle of the summer. You might remember it because I was very vocal about it. I talked about it a lot on the show I used to be on. I said, I'm voting for Trump. We could talk about it, ask me questions. Like, this was my Facebook post. And I got so much hate. I had people that I thought were my friends or associates of mine straight up called me a white supremacist. They said all that's missing is a white pointy hood now. Like, I couldn't believe it. Okay, look, you treat me nicely, I'll treat you nicely. I don't care what your skin color is. If you're cool to me, I'll be cool to you. If you cross me, if you steal from me, if you are rude to me or my family, it's like, that's what I pay attention to. Okay, I pay attention to how you act, who you are as a person, not your skin color. That doesn't make any difference to me. But because I decided to vote for Trump, because guess what? He was good for our country. He was doing a good job for our economy. He did care about the American public. I mean, that's besides the point. Actually, we are going to talk about that in a little bit. These people just went crazy. Logic went out the window, and all I could see is emotional outbursts because Trump was a racist. Well, give me an example of that. Here's this example. Okay, well, here's me disproving that example. In fact, I had one friend, I'm not going to say his name, but he reached out to me and he said, you know, I really want to understand why you're voting for Trump. How could you vote for Trump because of these reasons? And we talked for hours and had a very long conversation about all of the different examples. And I explained them calmly, just expressing how it was wrong, how it was media biased, how they were manipulating every single one of those stories. And he called me about a week later and he said, you know, I looked up all the things that we talked about. I looked up his speech in Charlottesville because, of course, you know, he brought that up, the good people on both sides, which the Democrats probably still talk about. He's like, yeah, he actually did condemn the neo-Nazis and white supremacists. That's not what the media did. It's kind of crazy. And he continued saying, like, I looked up all the other things, and it turns out, yeah, you were right. Like, he isn't racist. It's pretty insane. So it was like, it was refreshing. But that was one of my friends who I consider a friend because he really wanted to reach out and understand how I came to the point where I was at. But that is so rare. You know, looking at this, it's like 71% wouldn't even go on a date with someone that voted for the opposing side. Like you're some sort of monster. And to bring it back to, where is that tweet that I had brought in? To bring it back to Melissa Tate, what she said. They are trying to divide and conquer America. And they're doing a really good job of it. That's what they're doing. I mean, and this shows it. This is insane. The fact that, and there's that saying, what does that saying goes? It says, people on the left think that people on the right are evil. Where people on the right think that people on the left are just misinformed. And I think this really proves it. Because if I always thought myself as a centrist. You know, I'm not necessarily on the right or the left. You know, I have different values on different things. But in this current climate, I'm definitely tending to lean more right. Admittedly, I seemingly have a lot of conservative values, and the more I learn about life, the more conservative I'm finding myself being. Although I definitely tend to identify more as a libertarian, I feel. But man, this media bias. Look at this. Dana Milbank on CNN. Equally negative media coverage of Biden and Trump, an indictment of the whole industry. He straight up said the media is equally negative towards Biden as it was toward Trump. I'm serious. Can you believe this, guys? This is an actual article. How ridiculous is this? They're saying that the media coverage is equally negative towards Biden as it was toward Trump. Now, I don't know how many people were aware of the media coverage of Trump over the last 5 years, because it's 5 years now. It's been nearly a year that Biden's been president. And, I mean, they're still finding ways to relate things back to Trump. Look at this. This is an example. Where is it? Here we go. James Lindsay posted this. He says he's the Donald Trump of intellectuals. It's funny. He says, the woke has 2 rule books. Published in 2018, The Washington Post. It's not wrong to compare Trump's America to the Holocaust. Here's why. What? That headline is just insane. But then here, published in 2021, Needle Nazis, Medical Brown Shirts, Mengele and Stars of David, How Nazi Coronavirus Comparisons Has Proliferated on the Right. Y'all started it. And guess what? Gina Carano was right. Okay? In making those comparisons. We got police in Germany stopping old women because they don't have their vaccine passports. Papers, please. Police in France are doing the same. Let me check your papers. Police in Italy are stopping old women from getting on public transport because they forgot their green pass. Medical brown shirts. It's actually happening. It's happening. I'm seeing these videos, all right, of police stopping people to check their papers. That is exactly what was going on. And that's what Gina Carano was calling out before she got canned from The Mandalorian. Well, guess what? She was right. I can't believe this freaking media bias. Look at this. This is Jim Cramer. You might know him. He's the guy who hits mugs with baseball bats. He claims that it's the strongest economy perhaps I've ever seen. What? How? Inflation is on the rise. Gas prices are through the roof. Unemployment is terrible. They're trying to claim that it's a great growth when in reality, they're just regaining the jobs that were lost in the pandemic. I have to do air quotes softly there. Look at this. This is from Oliver Darcy. Some news in reliable sources, which is the absolute most ridiculous name I've ever heard of a show from Brian Stelter. Senior White House and admin officials have been holding briefings with major newsrooms over the past week as they try to reshape economic coverage. Reshape economic coverage. Do you guys know that it's legal for the U.S. government and media newsrooms to lie to the American public? This is true. They tried to pass the Smith-Mundt Act in 2012. It didn't pass, but they snuck it into the National Defense Authorization Act in 2013. After the Cold War, we changed the media coverage to basically send the rest of the world propaganda so that we could tell the American people the truth and not basically publish the truth to the rest of the world. Well, thanks to Obama and the government at the time, they changed that so that they didn't have to worry about changing the story. They just like, you know what? Let's just give the same story we're giving everyone else to everyone so it's easier. Essentially saying we could lie. Propaganda is now legal as of 2013, the National Defense Authorization Act. So now, looking back at this, senior White House and admin officials have been holding briefings with major newsrooms. That's fascism. The government working with corporations to manipulate the public. Fascism. We are dealing with a fascist government now. That's it. That's it. These people are manipulating us. They are trying to convince us that inflation is good. There's plenty of articles out there saying inflation is good for us and how it's bad for the elites. No, inflation is terrible. They keep pumping out money, making your dollar value drop. Yep. It's insanity. We've got these polls coming out. Look, Biden re-election poll shows a dismal 22% support. Harris is even worse at 12%. I mean, and their whole where's he at? He's at 41% approval rating. I think it's even lower than that now. This is from this was updated 2 days ago. So I was under the assumption that it was even worse. Correct me, chat, if you guys actually know the approval rating of the president right now, but it's absolutely insane. But man, this media bias is running so rampant. And I got more examples. Moving on from politics, this is the way that they portray a couple different things that have happened. So if you don't know, the Fox News headquarters Christmas tree was lit on fire by an arsonist. And a man is actually in custody now after lighting it up on fire. They arrested a suspect after the Christmas tree outside Fox News headquarters burned in a fire early Wednesday morning. The massive fire, captured in a number of photos and videos that quickly circulated online, shows flames and smoke billowing through the tree, which is located at an outdoor plaza just steps outside the network's world headquarters in Midtown Manhattan. Now, they actually have a suspect, Fox Christmas tree arson suspect, released without bail. Okay. This whole bail reform BS is absolutely ridiculous. It goes on to talk about how this guy has a rap sheet. He said that the moms that want to rape their effing daughters, they set it on fire. The man yelled, who also allegedly exposed himself outside of the Ghislaine Maxwell trial last week. He denied the arson and hurled obscenities at reporters before asking them for a cigarette. Wow. He was hit with a slew of misdemeanor charges, including arson. Is arson a misdemeanor? Criminal mischief, reckless endangerment, and a criminal trespass for allegedly setting it ablaze. Why does this sound familiar? Letting someone out who has a rap sheet, who has done multiple things, and then gone and done terrible things after they were let out. Oh, right. This whole thing. 5 dead, more than 40 injured after SUV drives through Wisconsin Christmas parade. Look at the way that they wrote this. By the way, it's 6 dead now and over 60 injured after an SUV drives. No, it wasn't an SUV. It was an asshole. All right. It was someone that should not have been let out. He tried to kill someone just a week prior. I actually have this. Check this out. Woman said Darrell Brooks tried to kill her when he ran over her in early November in Milwaukee. This is him right here. Seriously, a week prior, before he did a terrorist act of driving through a Christmas parade. That is a terrorist act. They're trying to say that parents against critical race theory are domestic terrorists when they're calling this an SUV. An SUV drives through. No, it was a deranged man who tried to killed a bunch of people. He killed 6 people. A 6th person, a child, dies following Wisconsin parade crash. A Wisconsin parade crash. What is this? CNBC, Huffington Post. What are they doing? What are they protecting? Okay? Now the Waukesha Christmas parade attack suspect Darrell Brooks whines about being demonized. You should be demonized. You killed 6 people and injured 62. And anyone who let him out of jail, even a week prior, he tried to kill someone. He ran over someone. And actually, there's reports of him actually having a history of, it follows a series of other violent incidents involving Brooks against her. He had been trying to hurt her with other violent incidences against her. This man has a history of using a car against somebody. And they're trying to make it seem like it was a parade crash. No, it was a deranged man that tried to kill that actually killed a bunch of people and injured 62. And now he's whining about being demonized. I don't care. You killed a bunch of people. You should be demonized. You should be demonized. This is a terrible act. That is a terrorist attack. How is it not? He killed 6 people. Authorities say he had no emotions as officer tried to stop him. The news tried to say he was running away from a knife fight. Running away from a knife fight in an SUV, plowing through people. Jack Posobiec actually posted a map of the area. There was plenty of different directions he could have gone. He chose to run over a bunch of people in that Christmas parade. He chose to. Now, I have to look at it. Look at the media bias. Look at the media bias. What was going on when this happened? Oh, that's right. Kyle Rittenhouse was just declared innocent. He was declared not guilty of all the charges that were against him because he was defending himself. But how did the media portray that? White supremacist. There's probably still people out there that think that he killed some black people. Not that it would have mattered at all because he was defending himself against people that wanted to kill him, as proven in a court of law. But man, did they push that narrative that he is a white supremacist just trying to kill people. Just going there to kill. Which is, of course, the opposite of what was happening. He was going there to defend Kenosha, defend American property, defend American citizens, and defend himself, and he did that. But that happened right before this. So this dude tried to kill a woman, ran her over, okay, was released, and then saw the media portraying... he lives in Wisconsin. This is in Wisconsin, so you know this was all over the media. Kyle Rittenhouse, white supremacist, all these BS stories that the media was pushing. This narrative, Jesse Smollett, this fake hate stuff, like people hate, depending on the color of your skin. Well, I mean, what do you expect him to do? I half blame the media for this. This dude was deranged, clearly was deranged. You have to be deranged to plow through a parade of people, killing 6, injuring 60. Dude was deranged. And the media manipulates. Over and over and over, we're seeing that the media is making these people psychotic. They're manipulating the masses into believing that America is racist, that America is some sort of terrible place. And it's working. I think that's why this guy did this. I don't know what he was thinking. I can only go off of what I've read on the news so far and what was happening at the time of when this guy got released, what he saw in the news media. Absolutely insanity, if you ask me. Absolutely insanity. The dude said, I feel dehumanized. You feel dehumanized? Because what, the news is calling you an SUV? When it was actually you who ran over all those people? Is that what you wanted? Did you want people to know your name and know your face? Is that why you did it? Were you upset that the news was saying it was just an SUV that ran over people and killed a bunch, including children? You monster. Oh, I'm sorry, only a monster can do that. Plow into a parade of people. Monster. Disgusting. All right, Man, I'm going to get into some super chats. I feel like I've been ranting for a while. Thank you guys for joining. I really do appreciate you showing up for me. You guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate all of the support that all of you show me daily. You guys are amazing. I seriously can't express my gratitude to all of you any more than I try to every day. Thank you so much. Thank you for smashing that like button. What a great smash to like ratio. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thanks to all of you. I feel very successful on this platform and in the internet world that I am now a big part of. Seriously, thank you. All right, I'm going to get into some super chats. I am going to talk about this Chinese Apple spy thing tomorrow. In fact, let me just get rid of the title, get rid of that in the title, because I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. Just to let you know, it's kind of crazy. Apple CEO Tim Cook secretly signed a $275 billion agreement to help the Chinese government. Absolutely insane. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. But all right, let us get into some super chats, shall we? Let me just double check to make sure that I didn't miss any. You guys are absolutely amazing. I hope you guys are having a great time. You know what? Let me also check while I'm looking over here if the sentencing has happened. Do you guys know if the sentencing for Jussie Smollett has happened yet? I don't know. Let me just poke my head into Twitter real quick just to see. I have a feeling people will be talking about it. If it... all right, it doesn't seem... Everyone's just talking about the fact that he has... Let me see, when is sentencing? Let's see if anyone answered this. Doesn't look like sentencing has happened yet. Okay. Hasn't happened yet, so I'm sure that people would be talking about it. I am curious to see what his sentencing would be. Can you guys believe that I'm on episode 292? That's insane. Thank you guys. 292 episodes. This is nuts. If you would have told me 2 years ago that I would be doing my own show talking about daily events or, you know, just stuff that's going on in the news and people would be supporting me and showing up for me. Thousands of people show up for me. You guys are just seriously amazing. I don't think I would have believed you. It is oh, okay. Someone just said sentencing is happening in 2 weeks. Okay, so really? So they're gonna take 2 weeks. All right, so no sentencing today, so we'll find out. It's what a crazy world we live in, huh? Typically, the sentencing phase is always a week to a month later. Okay. All right, thanks. That was actually from my mom. Thanks, Mom. I appreciate you. All right, so that will when it happens, I will report on it. Robert Shaw says, I didn't do anything. I wasn't even on set. Oh my gosh. I think you changed your name. I think you were something different. It said it was Juicy who pulled the trigger. I swear. I saw that title change, Adam. I saw you. Yeah, I mean, I had to change the title. I had to talk about the Jussie Smollett thing because it fits so perfectly with my subjects today, media bias, and how the way that they have manipulated us. And, you know, even me, I used to get my news, embarrassing. I know I've talked about this many times, from Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. My goodness, how embarrassing it is to say that. But I'm grateful to know that I'm not doing that anymore. I actually follow journalists. I read the actual bills that politicians are trying to push. I don't listen to the cover letter that they give to everyone, which is 1 page long when the bill is 3,000 pages. I'm sick of that. So someone asked if they decided on a verdict. They did. He is guilty on 5 of 6 counts. So good riddance. Boxer Tales with a $10 super chat says, I'm glad you are feeling better. God bless you and your family and this chat. They are amazing. Thank you, Boxer Tail. I do feel a lot better. I am grateful to be feeling better. It sucks to be sick, right? It sucks to be sick. Someone said, nice beard, Adam. Thank you. I've been trying to, like, you know, trim it and get rid of, like, kind of keep it a little more in shape. Yeah, I kind of like it a little bit, right? I got a little whites. You guys see the grays? They're poking out a little bit. I have like a little gray strip right here. Kind of like it. a little bit like right here. Maybe I'll do a Jack Murphy. I don't know if you know Jack Murphy's beard. It's glorious. But he's got like some white strips, kind of cool. Mark Robert Crigler says, LOL, college students don't have money or jobs. True. Well, not all of them, but for the most part. Bradley Burnett says, breaking news, Jussie Smollett guilty of faking a hate crime. Also breaking news, water is wet. Well, I don't know if the second part is breaking, but I get the sentiment. Robert Shaw says, very steamy steam house, quite vigorous training. I couldn't help but laugh at that a little bit. It was pretty funny. Robert Shaw says, working on their forearms and grip strength. Oh my God, Robert Shaw. Oh, I should have read those super chats when I was talking about it, because that was actually really hilarious. Bradley Burnett again with a $10 super chat says, so much media support for Jussie when this first happened. I'm holding my breath for all the apologies, which will certainly come soon. Still holding my breath, vision blurring, feeling faint. Yeah, keep holding your breath, man. I doubt we're gonna see any apologies from anyone who defended him. Even that girl, Elliot something, or what was her name? It's a guy now. It's a girl. Who are we kidding anymore? I'm so sick of this whole freaking trans thing. I'm so over it. I don't want to get into that, but she like defended him and like cried out and made this whole speech on. So I think she was on Stephen Colbert's show. I don't know. It's stupid though. Robert Shaw says, your biggest enemy is yourself. Jussie Smollett. I mean, he's right, actually. That is truth. Ellen Page, is that what it is? Elliot Page, Ellen Page? Yeah, that person. Right. Oh man, I'm so annoyed with it. Robert Shaw says Jussie should walk straight to jail. Yeah. He's a mighty quack, all right. I didn't know. I've never actually seen Mighty Ducks. I'm an 80s child too. I feel like I should have, but never saw it. Alpha Zero Omega, how you doing? He says, if hate crimes are so prevalent in the US, why do these jokers need to fake them? They surely can just point to the ones that we can all plainly see. Exactly. That's what I said. If it was really happening, if there was an actual modern day lynching, they would never stop talking about it, ever. But they have to fake this stuff. They have to make it all up. It is just so stupid. Robert Shaw says, pour that Don lemonade down the toilet. Yeah, didn't Don Lemon actually, didn't he warn Jussie Smollett or something? Didn't Don Lemon do some shady business or something? Someone said, don't dead name Adam. I don't even know. I didn't know her name. His name. Whatever, man. Stupid. Jason Dixon says, where can I mail you a longboard with the Adam Crigler show on it? I got stuff to send you, bro. I have several 100-sided dice to send. Guys, I apologize. I got sick. I was actually I actually have the paperwork to get a PO box, and I'll be honest, getting COVID, I gave up on everything for a while and just was focused on getting better. I definitely have to do that. And anyone who won and is still waiting for their coffee, I apologize. The person who did it for me doesn't work for me anymore. So we are getting that in order. Guys, don't worry. We are working on that. And also, I will do a P.O. box. I apologize, guys. Drunk 3PO, what's good, man? How you doing? Thank you for that super chat. I don't know how many people know who Drunk 3PO is. He's absolutely great. I want to bring him on the show. We were talking about it. Going to be in his show eventually as well. He just simply says, preach. Thank you, mate. I don't even know what I was preaching about. I felt, I'm sorry I was a little preachy today. Maybe I felt like I was ranting a little bit. I'm just sick of this media bias. I'm sick of being told that I'm racist because I'm white. I'm so over it. Shut up. All right? You know what I mean? It's just like, God, so annoying. Anyway, thank you, Drunk 3PO. I appreciate your support, man. It's cool to see you here. Robert Shaw says, alcohol is bad for your circuit boards. Okay. Sparky says, the CIA, along with the rest of the Five Eyes, control the world media narrative. Mike Pompeo and his protege, Gina Haspel, helped to bring down Trump. Man, I believe it, dude. I don't know who to trust in the government anymore. There's everyone I'm finding, and there's always like, oh, man, there's skeletons in their closet. What a surprise. What a surprise. Simon Gruber, what's good? Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. For all those members, you can spin the UFO. Let's see them. All the members in chat, let me see some spins. Simon, thank you for becoming a member, for supporting me monthly. You can now spin the actual UFO. I have actually a bunch of emotes. And thank you guys. You guys are fantastic. Let me see some of those UFOs spinning. Benjamin, I see you spinning that UFO. Nice. Scro... Geez, something. They need to bring perjury charges again for his false testimony. Agreed. You know what? That's a good point. I mean, the dude lied. He lied on so many fronts. It's now that they found him guilty, it's like they should bring more charges. I agreed, because he did lie. Robert Shaw says Biden is such a great improvement. My brain is smooth. Hold on, let me read that again. Biden is such a great improvement. My brain's smooth. This is, of course, when the media was saying that Biden is being treated unfairly. The media. Just saying it out loud it makes me laugh, right? Try saying out loud without laughing. Biden is an improvement, and the media is equally as harsh towards Biden as Trump. Ridiculous. Sejong the Great says, NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace, but yeah, get Carly B back on. I know you were somewhat mean. I know we were somewhat mean, but she's got super passionate, and that's what we were on the right don't do. We don't reach into our politics and become hysterical. Anyway, let's roll the coffee, yo. You mean Carlin. Man, Carlin, I don't like the way she handles herself online. And in fact, I've told her this to her face. Like when we were, the last time we were on, she gets triggered by the people on the left or by the people on the right. She gets triggered by anyone and makes it her personal project to like fight these people. And I think she's wrong on it. And I've told her to her face, and she's gotten herself in trouble recently about some insane comments that she said on Twitter. I don't, man, it's crazy. Anyway, he says, let's roll for coffee. Okay. You guys, I see you guessing already, but you got to, I can't, I'm going to wait a little bit for this because I got to roll the dice first before you guys start guessing. But Sejong, I will definitely honor that in a little while. Serious Business says, so gloomy. What are your weekends plans, buddy? I am going to downtown to the Christmas area. I have a family Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve. I'm really looking forward to spending some time with my family. We're going to do a white elephant gift thing. Last year was really funny because my sister stole something from my grandmother, who then I stole from her. It was this Yeti mug. Everybody wanted the Yeti mug because, yeah, those Yeti mugs are dope, right? And I ended up with it, so I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, so this weekend, me and my mom are going to go down to the Christmas festival shopping center in downtown. And, I like it, supporting local businesses and all that. You got to do it. So that's going to be fun. And also, I think we're going to be doing a gingerbread competition with my sister, which is going to be fun. I really like it. I haven't made a gingerbread house in... Geez, I don't actually remember the last time I made a gingerbread house. Had to be when I was a child. But my mom got this gingerbread competition kit that has four different sets for 4 people to make their own houses. And then there's like a first place ribbon thing. And there's no participation trophies involved, which I like. I want to win. I want that blue trophy or that blue ribbon. And if I do win, I'll wear it as a badge of honor whenever the next show that I host. Anyway, I'm gonna have fun. Spending time with family. That's really important. I love my family a lot, and I hope you guys get to spend time with your family as well. So that's my plans. All right. There's no numbers right now. I'm going to roll it. This is from Sejong the Great. Good luck. Have fun. This is for an actual bag of Crigler coffee brought to you by Sejong the Great. Thank you, Sejong. I appreciate that. I am now watching the numbers. Good luck. Nobody gets a participation trophy for this. This is a one winner. That's it. And for all the winners that have won recently, we will be sending you a coffee shortly. My goodness, how many times have you won? All right, Minion, you are insane. You've won many times. I think you just won again recently as well. I'm going to honor it, though. I don't care. I said months ago that we are going to be doing Minion. Send me another email. You know exactly how to do it. Pretty sure we already have all of your information. But good luck, man. You know, just gift a bag of coffee to someone, unless of course you love it yourself. But it is 14. You were the first person to guess 14. Thank you, Sejong the Great, for giving out coffee. I gotta love it. You guys are absolutely fantastic to each other. All right, let's see. EF says you should check out Flawedzilla, former BLM supporter who walked away. I don't think you're the first person to actually suggest Flawedzilla to me. I don't know how to actually get a hold of people. Let me see if I can find them maybe on Twitter or something. Are they on Twitter? There's Twitch. There's Instagram. Here's Twitter. Let me see. Their DMs are not open. But I'll give them a follow. And maybe I could get a hold of them somehow. I'm not sure how to get a hold of them, but you are not the first person to actually suggest Flawedzilla to me. But I really do miss having guests. I love having good conversations with people, hearing their perspective on things. I love it. I miss it. And Wednesdays, I'm going to have Quarter Black Garrett back on the show. We're going to be doing that more often. I was sick for a few weeks, as you may know, so I didn't have my kind of schedule kind of fell apart. But returning to my Wednesday show, we are going to have Quarter Black Garrett back on. I love it. Can't wait. I do want to announce everybody. I'm very excited to do this. For those who play Battlefront 2, you know what? Let me just pull up a picture. This is a first. I haven't showed this to anyone. This is a commission that I did for Battlefront 2 to actually have Gina Carano put and brought into the game. I just want to show you guys officially. Gina Carano is in the game. It's actually really dope. Hold on, I want to show you guys. Here she is. This is a commission. She's going to be replacing Leia. I actually have her actual pistol. This is just before it got exchanged. I actually just noticed right now that's just a dimple. I got to have that changed, but it's almost done. I'm very excited. Gina Carano is going to be officially in Star Wars Battlefront as Cara Dune. It's got her full outfit. I'm pretty excited about it. I commissioned it myself by a modder that adds mods to the game. So I'm pretty hyped about it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have something, to support Gina Carano and to bring Cara Dune's character into the game. It's pretty dope. So I'm pretty excited. Let's see. All right, where was I? Robert Shaw says our summer is all rain. F humidity. Yeah, humidity sucks. I grew up in Chicago, and Chicago is absolutely brutal in the wintertime with the wind and the cold, and then absolutely brutal in the summertime with the humidity. And I grew up also going to Florida every summer, which of course, I don't know if you know Florida in the summertime, oof, it's thick with humidity. Sparky says, remember Jim Cramer constantly recommended Google. Oh, okay. Sparky said Fox News is controlled opposition. Everything's ABC, Fox, all these people, they're all owned by Disney. Do you know that? Disney the amount of companies that Disney owns, oof, it's pretty insane. I have a chart that actually shows all of them, and it's pretty insane. Someone said get Gina on the show. I would love to have Gina on the show. Gina Carano, you are always welcome on my show. I would love to have a conversation. You were right long ago. I supported you back then, and a lot of people demonized you, and now we're seeing more and more that you were right. So, she's been vindicated. Robert Shaw says, a woman set herself on fire protesting mandates. I saw that. It's really sad. She had a sign that said, what did it say? Something about like these mandates are killing us. And, is the media reporting on that? No, not of course not. Of course not. Scrody Johnson, what's good? Says, I missed most of your show. Sounded like it got to you today. Have a drink and relax, brother. I get frustrated, as I feel like a lot of people get frustrated. It's like, we should be frustrated though. It's like that video that I posted or that I showed you guys right away, right off the bat. If you missed it, it was Jordan Peterson talking to Joe Rogan about them slowly encroaching on your rights, on us as free people. Right? They're slowly taking our stuff away, but to the point where we're about to protest and then they stop, and it's like, we have to recognize that they're trying to take our rights away and be frustrated. It's insane. Dietrich says, Jussie will admit it and apologize now, right? Just kidding. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Scrody, thank you for celebrating your 5 months as a member. That's amazing. Says, howdy, Adam. SUV, huh? Must have been a Chrysler product. My goodness. Yeah. Sparky. Oh, yeah. The Fox News controlled opposition. I did read that. Yeah. Scrody says, missed most of your... Oh, where am I doing? The super chat jump messed me up here. Robert says, you'll be a great dad. Don't wait too long. No, I don't plan on waiting too much longer. I am really excited to have kids. RKO fan says, I was called a bigot for doubting the Bubba Wallace hate crime when it first happened, but I'd rather be a bigot than a Smollett. But you weren't a bigot because you were correct. Thank you for that $10 super chat, though. Excuse me. Nacho Business says, you have gotten amazing, dude. Very proud of you. Bring back clips. Yes, I know I need to bring back clips. I've been having issues with my audio being offset. I need to fix it. I need to do it. I will be bringing the clips back just for people to share the individual segments that I do. Although I've been doing this kind of free flow, mixing it all together, because a lot of times, a lot of my segments, especially today, for example, they kind of blend together. The media bias, the over-encompassing idea of what media bias is, the whole Jussie Smollett story, how they covered it, to claiming that Biden is being attacked by the media worse than Trump was, which is just insane. And then, how they were talking about what was going on in Wisconsin, just insanity, man. So, but I will be bringing it back, and thank you for your kind words, Nacho. I appreciate you, mate. Robert Shaw says, Robert Wilds needs a parrot and an eye patch. Right. Robert, I saw that you are not feeling well. I hope you're feeling better. I know you're not watching today, or maybe you are, but he fell and hurt his knee. Slipped on some ice. Paul said, George Orwell's estate has approved author Sandra Newman's feminist retelling of 1984. Now 1984 is going woke. Oh, my gosh. Man. Pantry says, lay down an album, bro. You have enough great songs to make it work. I do need to work on an album. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that awesome support. Captain Playoni in chat. How are you, Captain Playoni? Good to see you in chat. You are fantastic, and in fact, my favorite person on this planet. Robert Shaw says, Kyle missed the only colored attacker. You know what? It's true. He did get kicked in the face by a colored attacker, and didn't shoot him. So technically, he was not. He was like so not racist because he chose to only defend himself against the white attackers. Silly color conversation. Scrody says Jack Murphy is the bearded master, a very cool dude. I really do respect Jack Murphy a lot. I really like his takes on things. He is just an all-around awesome dude. alpha male, and a great guy. I've met him many times. He always is grateful to see me. It was just, I always felt welcome by him. He's a great dude, and I really appreciate his takes on things. So, Dino Side, I just had a super chat jump. Give me a second. Dino Side said, I live 2 blocks from the Waukesha attack. I gave an interview to Terrence Pop on his Grunt Speak live show, the Rittenhouse one. SWAT was out until 12 a.m. It's a sad thing that happened, man. It really is sad. Scrody Johnson says white people were lynched all the time too. Jack Coogan, Uncle Fester lynched some guys who killed his friend. Yeah, I don't know about any of that, but man. Dietrich says Jussie Wars, the Empire strikes itself. Nice. Oh, by the way, I am planning my next deep dive. All right, I think I'm gonna go for the 29th of December or the 30th of December. It is going to be Star Wars. I am gonna have Darth Maul come and join me. It's actually my buddy Darth Call, who's a Twitch streamer, a good buddy of mine. He is going to be joining me, and we're going to be doing a deep dive on Star Wars. That's right. We're going to talk about the origin of Star Wars, how it was created. We're going to talk about the original trilogy, the prequels, the canon, the all the stories in between, and then we're going to talk about the sequels and the tragedy of Disney Star Wars, and it's going to be awesome. I haven't done a deep dive in a while, but I'm really excited, especially because I'm going to have a great guest who's like super knowledgeable. Wait till you guys hear the stuff that he brings, because I know I love Star Wars myself. I actually have, where's my lightsaber? I actually have my own lightsaber that I got because I was a Jedi for Halloween. This thing is really fun to swing around. Anyway. And anyway, I'm really excited about that. So it's going to be really cool to have Darth Call join me as Darth Maul. And we're going to be doing a deep dive on Star Wars. I think it's so iconic and it's so tragic at the same time. So that's something to look forward to at the end of the month. Let's see. Rise in Ability says, speaking of an a-hole who ran people over after he was bailed out, the suspect who lit the Fox Christmas tree was on fire was released without bail. Shaking my head. Yeah, exactly. That's actually what led me to kind of bring in talking about what the attack. Robert Shaw says, what's a dead name? It's when people decide they are a different gender and change their name, and you call them by their former name, you have dead named them. Which, I mean, this whole conversation, I mean, I posted something about this earlier today. I actually post about it a lot and probably piss a lot of people off. I don't really care. All I have to say is, I tweeted this out. I said, if you need others to validate you, then you aren't truly happy with yourself. And be happy with yourself. Learn how to be happy with yourself. I think that's really important. I mean, learn how to validate yourself. And I think that's a lost art nowadays. You know, people don't know how to do that. And the people who do know how to do that know how to be happy. You have to learn how to validate yourself and love yourself. That's such an important thing that's lost. And it's really sad. I really want to bring that back. Minion says, we getting electric guitar for the 300th? Probably not. No, I'm going to stick with the classical. I have a classical with me. I actually haven't played music in almost a month. I should probably practice. I got to do a Friday jam session. It's been a while for some Friday jams. And also I've got the 300th episode coming up in 8 episodes. Very exciting. Man, 300th episode. That's nuts. I can't believe it. You guys are amazing. I'm so grateful for you guys. I say it all the time, and I will forever say it. Thank you. Seriously, thank you all for watching me, supporting me, super chatting me, being there for me, sharing my videos, smashing that like button, all of the support. You guys are just amazing. I couldn't do this without all of you. You're the best part of why I loved being on the Timcast show was the chat, and you are the best part of doing this show is you guys. I love the chat. You guys are so amazing, and you have such kind words for me all the time. I can never express it enough. Never. Robert Shaw says SUVs are dangerous. Are the dangerous wild animal. Yeah, man. SUVs. I mean, cars are dangerous objects. Who are, it's true. Pardon me. Robert Shaw says, whoop, whoop, Flawdzilla. Seems like a lot of people know him. I gotta, let me, I gotta find his YouTube. There is his YouTube. I am officially now subscribed. I've got his channel up, so I'm going to check out his channel. Ooh, let me, I don't know if you can hear that. Let me get rid of that. Okay. All right. Scrody Johnson says, Disney doesn't own Fox News. COP does government antitrust laws prevented them from acquiring Fox News, sports, and their other broadcasting networks. Oh, okay. So they don't own Fox News. All right, well, that's good to know at least. And man, antitrust laws, I mean, geez, I'm certain there's ways to circumvent that though, right? Jesus Davila, thank you for that little thumbs up. I appreciate that. Mr. Squiggle says Mickey Mouse and Goofy were behind everything all along. Maybe. STVO6 says, hit up Floods on Instagram. You can get him there, bro. Okay, yeah, all right. Instagram, I'll check that out. Robert Shaw says, if you detonate someone, do they dissolve? No, they just get very triggered. Elite Interactive, interesting name, with a $10 super chat says, hey, Adam, love the show. I am hosting a YouTube live interactive game right after your show. It'll run for 30 minutes, and the winner wins a bag of Crigler coffee of their choice. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, that's very cool. What is that? How do you even do that? That's Elite Interactive. Very cool. I kind of like that. Pardon me. I'm still dealing with a little residual congestion after being sick. So I am, still feeling it. But thank you. That's so cool. I appreciate that. Supporting me on multiple fronts, your super chat, and then, of course, giving away Crigler coffee. That's awesome. Sejong says, you know what it's like to be a single mom in 2021? Check out Taylor the Fiend. Very on-point analysis. Oh, man. And that whole thing, too, is, the government really wants to maintain that, man. It's pretty insane. I saw someone chat, Music Monkey Man says, your honesty and candor is why I'm here listening. Thanks. Thank you so much. Authenticity, I feel, is what people really want. And I tried to be as authentic as possible. When you guys are watching me talking about stuff, I really just am giving you my raw opinion on things. And that's really what it is, so... Thank you. I appreciate that. Sejong says, don't question China. Mickey. Yeah, exactly. Don't question the narrative, really. Anyway, guys, that is my show. Thank you so much. You guys are absolutely the best. Thank you for sharing my videos. I see a bunch of people sharing. You guys are amazing. Every time you share it, more people see my stuff and helps me grow. We got over 1,000 likes today. That is just incredible. Thank you guys. Incredible. Tomorrow, of course, is jam night. I should probably get a little practice in. I haven't sang in a while. No promises that it's going to be a long jam. As I said, I'm still a little congested from being sick from COVID. But I absolutely will be playing some music tomorrow, and I'll be back. So I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the Friday show. Good night, everybody.